Let's talk about creating high converting story sequences. Now, this first video, I'm going to cover the overview of why do we do stories, how do they work, and the importance behind them. Now, the objective and the greater purpose of stories are that they are very effective, one of the most effective ways to get people's attention, build a relationship with them, and for them to slide into your messages, right? Slide into your DMs, that's the phrase, right? And when that happens, you're able to now convert them and turn them into paying customers and start earning commissions. You can do this for whatever the product is that you create. And I'm going to give you a lot of examples for simplicity of if you were promoting DFM, what exactly those examples would be. Okay, now it's very important. You want to make your own version of these. Obviously, my face will not work on your profile. Do not do that. That will confuse your audience big time. It is going to be your face, or if you're doing a faceless version, then you're going to do it faceless. But I always want you to always have your own independent thinking, which is take the principles I teach you here. In the beginning, you can follow them to the T, right? Follow them exactly, following my instructions. But after you get really good at them, and you start seeing good results, you're growing your audience, you're making sales, start experimenting, and always don't be afraid to try new things. But always remember that if things don't work, you can always return back to this foundation. But it's very important to know that, hey, you got to make your own version of these. Okay. Now, let's talk about the purpose behind these stories. Stories are meant to do a few things. Number one, nurture. Okay. And this is probably the biggest one. Stories is a way for you to build a relationship with your audience, for people to see your personal life, who you are, what you're about. Okay. It should really feel like you're taking people through a day in your life, right? If you like watching those a day in the life of my YouTube videos, right? Or like if you ever follow famous people, the reason why people love watching the stories of celebrities because you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm literally keeping up with the famous people, right? I'm keeping up with the Kardashians. I'm keeping up with celebrities, which is why people love watching stories. It gives them an inside look into who you are. Okay. It's very important that you post stuff in real time. Don't post stuff that's old. Okay. Unless you're doing like a before and after or transformation, which we'll talk about later. But it should always be done in real time. Hey, this just happened. I just got back from the gym. Hey, I'm at dinner right now. Hey, I'm at church right now, right? You want to post stuff that feels like it's happening right now. Now, that's not to say you can't batch your content. So for example, if you want to film all your stories, on a Monday for the next 7 days, you can. But the way that you talk in the stories has to feel like it's spontaneous, right? So rather than saying, hey, today it's Sunday in the video, and then let's say you post that on Monday, obviously you don't want to do that because you're saying it's the wrong day in your content, right? But if you do batch, right, which I'll show you in future trainings how to do, but the way that you want it to feel like is it's spontaneous, it's in the moment, right? And you should honestly just do it in the moment. Like if you're just ever going about your day, do it in your stories. Keep people updated on what's going on in your life, right? And then another way that you nurture people is you do Q&As. So you answer people's questions. People ask questions about the mentorships. They might ask questions about your own personal life, right? Like I get people that ask me, hey, what was my story? How did I become Christian? They'll ask me questions on, hey, what's it like being married at a young age? They'll ask me questions like this, and I'll answer those as well, because remember, people buy the mentor before they buy the mentorship. So you have to get people to nurture and buy into who you are as a person, okay? The next thing that stories are meant to do is educate. Educate meaning actually teach them, overcome their objections, answer their questions, right? You're going to educate them on what this is all about, okay? And then finally, you're going to convert. You're going to ask for a call to action, make a call to action, get people to DM you, message you in, or tap this link. They're going to tap the link, and that's how people become your customers eventually. Okay? So again, nurture, educate, convert. Okay. Now, if you are starting a new account from scratch and you have never done any form of promoting products before, what you do not want to do is just go in guns blazing and just go, hey guys, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. You're going to come off super salesy, and you can't build an audience that way because no one wants to follow someone, at least not in the beginning, who's just selling, selling, selling.
Just drop them down.
So your first 30 days, I want you to really focus on building a relationship with your audience. Now, if you already have an existing audience, let's say maybe you did a previous mentorship program, or you have a couple thousand followers, maybe you're an influencer doing something else prior to this. You can do a shorter nurture sequence. Maybe you get everyone hyped up for like 7 days, 3 days even, right? And you just, add content on a daily basis. It's called a pre-launch, where you release stuff on a daily basis. Hey guys, keep an eye out for this day, right? Let's say like May 15th. Guys, May 15th, I'm going to release something that you've never seen before. It's called digital arbitrage. Mark your calendars, right? You can do that and build up hype. But if you're a beginner, like literally an account from 0 followers, which is totally no problem, you want to focus on nurturing your audience and building an audience for the first 30 days, okay? Because remember, you have to build trust before you can make a sale. And if you do CTAs every single day, CTA, it's really going to confuse your audience, okay? Now, the ratio that you want to go for is you want to go for 80-20. So 80% of the story slides want to be relationship building, nurture, answering questions, talking about your life, how much this mentorship is changing your life, right? Sharing about the mentorship, talking about what it is, right? You're not selling. You're not saying, hey guys, if you want to buy it, then message me this word, tap this link. You're just another part of the community. So that's going to be the first two, nurture and educate, all right? And 20% of your slides are going to be convert, meaning a slide is going to be a call to action slide. So if you have 5 slides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can do the first 2 slides, nurture and educate. Slide 3 can be a call to action. And then slides 4 and 5, you just nurture and educate, right? So you notice out of these 5 slides, only one of them has a call to action. That's 20%, right? Now, a couple other principles from a foundational level you need to understand. 3% of your audience is always ready to buy from you, okay? So that means if you have a bigger audience, if you have 100 followers, generally there's gonna be 3 people there that already have the pain, have a problem, and they realize that you are the solution and they're gonna buy, okay? The bigger your audience gets, the closer you will get to this ratio. If you have a really small audience, like if you only have 2 followers or 10 followers, this won't really apply to you, which is again why I say your first 30 days, you wanna focus on building a relationship. Now, as you grow a bigger audience, maybe you get your first 100 followers, your first 200 followers, this 3% rule is gonna become more and more relevant, okay? That's why we like to have at least one call to action on a daily basis. Otherwise,
let me know.
Right? No one would ever buy from you. So when I say, hey, for your first 30 days, focus on building the relationship, maybe rather than having a CTA like this, because I do recommend on a daily basis you have a CTA, what you do instead is you go 6 slides in one CTA, right? Or 7 slides in one CTA. All I'm trying to teach you here, like, I don't want you to overthink this. Oh man, well, then do I need to do 10 slides in one CTA? Like, what's the magic number? There is no magic number, so please don't overthink this. Okay, please do not overthink this. Just from a common sense perspective, as you're putting out content, I want you to think, okay, am I adding more value? Am I doing more nurture, more educating content, more than I'm selling? Because they're just sell every day. People stop watching your stories or they unfollow you because they think, dude, this guy is just selling all the time. Right. So that's just the general idea. But the reason why I add this in here, 3% of your audience is always ready to buy, is because this really emphasizes the importance of, hey, on a daily basis, at least have one.
This is an inside look at
least give people one
the Digital Boss
Academy,
a community that I just recently joined.
Free guide, for example,
so you're learning as I'm learning.
Why? There always will be someone.
If you have any questions or want to see another part of the community or what's inside of the classroom, just let me know.
They're just going to go buy from someone else, right? They're going to go follow someone else and buy their product instead. Okay. And in terms of, we'll talk about this later in a future training, but you want to prioritize people who actually respond to your call to actions. So for example, if you have a DM call to action, like, hey, if you're interested in this free guide, or if you're interested in joining the same mentorship that I joined, then DM me the word mentor, DM me the word how, DM me the word start. Those DMs should be your top priority.
Hello,
so as soon as those people hit your message inbox, otherwise known as your DMs, you want to message those people first.
If you have any questions, let me know.
And have a conversation with those people, send them the link to sign up, follow up with them, right? Answer their questions, because those people have already raised their hands, right? Metaphorically, they have raised their hands saying, yo, I'm interested. I'm interested in what it is that you're selling, right? They have interest. They have shown interest in what you do, so you need to follow up with them, right? You want to follow up with those people first. So a lot of people get confused, like, oh my gosh, I'm getting new followers, but then I also got DMs coming in from people that message my stories, and I'm also seeing people who are commenting below on my posts. What's the highest priority? The highest priority is always going to be the people that message you from your stories who have expressed interest from a call to action. That's the highest priority. These are the hottest people that you got to have a conversation with, okay? The aim here, okay, the overall goal is to get people to view your story, like you, know you, and trust you, right? That's called being nurtured by you. Become interested in what it is that you're offering.
Hello, welcome in.
And then send you a message by raising your hand.
If you have any questions,
right?
let me know.
Or clicking the link, right? Because you can also put a link in the stories and
part
so they can
of
tap
the
that directly.
community.
Okay, so you can do both. You can do a DM or you can do a click link. Okay. A reason why I like the DM more than the click link, like I'll probably go 67% of the time. So 2/3 of the time I'll do a DM call to action, and then 1/3 of the time I'll do a click a link. Is because when you do click a link, people obviously leave
so
the
many
Instagram
gems
platform,
inside of the
right?
Digital
They go
Boss
to your funnel
Academy.
instead. And when Instagram sees that people are leaving the platform, well, Instagram doesn't want people to leave the platform.
Resale rights
right?
products.
You're taking people off of the platform. So
Just
your views generally on your stories will be lower when you do a click link.
Inside of this community.
But clicking the link is also good because it's the most convenient, right? They don't need to talk to you. They can just click on the link and they can just buy directly, or whatever the thing is that you're sending them. So again, you can do click the link and DM in, but the ratio that I personally like, you can play around with it, right? Maybe click the link doesn't impact your views as much, but for me, I have seen a notice.
We're gonna go to look at the community. So this is just an overview of the Digital Boss Academy community that I've recently became a part of. And this community is very, very active. I've been in some other communities and they're not as active as this community is. The Digital Boss Academy was created by Brooklyn, and she is so sweet. But inside of here, inside of the Digital Boss Academy, there are several different things that you can learn, especially if you're starting out and you're wanting to learn more about digital marketing. Because I know for a long time I was curious about digital marketing, and I didn't know how to get started besides, watching different YouTube videos and things like that. And a lot of the time, some of the information that is in there, depending on where they're at in their journey can be a little bit confusing, because if you're a complete beginner and, you know, they've started a long time ago and they're speaking on, you know, their experience from a long time ago, sometimes they can leave you behind, and some of the information is missing. So I finally decided I just came across Digital Boss Academy, and it's a beginner friendly for, you know, entrepreneurs or really anybody that is wanting to learn how to create different streams of income, learn more about digital marketing, if you need to work on your mindset and different things like that. That is what this community is for. So what you're looking at now is inside of the classroom. So these are some of the modules that are in there. So you have Digital Boss Academy. It has volumes 1, 2, and 3. And then she also has Digital Boss Code, which talks all about AI. So if you want to learn, you know, different things about AI, then DBC would be, you know, for you. But some of the things that are inside of Digital Boss Academy Volume 1 is, so for one, you get welcomed into, you get welcomed into the community. They go through mindset mastery. They go through the core fundamentals. You have a digital marketing crash course, the storytelling playbook. So if you're somebody that is on Instagram and you want to learn how to create content that converts in Instagram, then, you know, the story selling playbook would be something that you might be interested in. It also goes over how to set up your online store, adding your affiliate links and different things like that. It goes over the guidelines as far as being a DBA affiliate. So you're also able to, I think theirs is 85% commission. But right now, I'm just really going through, like I said, the different modules and learning about the different things that are inside of here, all the different gems that are in here. So it goes over how to launch, digital marketing training, building a bomb brand, unforgettable brand start here, the FTC compliance, virtual attraction marketing system. And so I have volume 1. So all the other stuff that is, I guess you would say, extra that comes inside of DBA. So it's got the replay vault. So whenever they do Zoom calls and stuff like that, if you miss the Zoom calls, you don't have to worry, because they'll be in here, and then you can go back and watch those to see what they talked about, you know, the gems that they dropped in there. Hear people's stories and different things. It has ChatGPT fundamentals, prompt to profit, mastering social media, so leveling up your social media game. She has a PLR vault, so private label rights vault, in which case it has a lot of different, you know, materials in here. This part goes over how you use private label rights products, how you can use those to, you know, use those as your own products. So if you don't have your own products, but you're wanting to get into the digital space and start selling those products, they have lots of them inside of here, and it's going to walk you through how to go about that. So the complete introduction to PLR products, PLR digital products, digital marketing, PLRs, bundle templates. So like I said, if you don't have your own products, you can use some of the ones that they have in here. If you're wanting to be in the beauty industry, or if you're already in the beauty industry and you're wanting to learn how to make wigs, how to grow as a makeup artist, lash classes, content ideas for beauty businesses, master resale rights templates, digital beauty module, luxury hair extensions class, traditional sewing course. So you can learn all of that in here. Like I said, if you're in the beauty industry, or if you've been wanting to get into the beauty industry, then you're able to come in here and, go through those classes, go through those modules. A lot of the times I see, people sometimes don't like to get courses or whatever, because they feel like, you buy a course just to sell a course. But that's not how it's supposed to go. Granted, if they have the option for you to resell the course, by all means, if that's what you want to do, or, become an affiliate with the course, then that's fine. But at the same time, whenever you get a course, if you actually take the information that is given inside of these courses and implement that information for your own use, then as you progress and, start to see changes, then, you can also introduce other people to, the program or the courses or the communities if you actually like the program or the community. If you've gotten value out of it, or if it's helped you in any way, then you're able to share that, like I said, with other people. So they've also added stocks and crypto in here. So if you've been wanting to learn about crypto and, not just, keep going through YouTube videos or whatever, which either way, it's up to you. But they have stocks and crypto in here. So they also have one-on-one, I won't say one-on-one, but they have live Zoom classes of, experts that teach this as well. So let's go in here. So they've got stocks for beginners, binary trading, news options trading, crypto investing. So if those are things that you want to learn, then, you're able to come in here and learn those as well. Let's see. Promotional don't feed content. Hall of Bosses. So let's celebrate your wins. The Content Vault. I think the Content Vault is one of my favorite sections outside of the mindset and the core fundamentals, because inside of the Content Vault, they have so much content that you can use. Reels. So if you want to start, creating a faceless social media channel, if you don't want to be on the camera. So I guess it's kind of like I'm doing now, would be a faceless live. But yeah, you're able to go in here and let's see. So you got DBA promo, over 700 plus melanin reels, faceless content reels, so 43,000. Faceless reels, more done for you, faceless reels, real ideas for faceless content, DBA product photos. So they go over how to create captions, done for you captions, where to find more faceless content. So basically, if you're trying to start creating content or faceless content and reels and different things like that, and you don't know where to find them, or you don't have any, then you're able to find those inside of this community. So I really love this section, of course, because I don't like having to create my own reels, and they've got 43,000, and that's just one part of it. So I really love that section. And then they've got content inspiration. So if you need ideas, get inspiration from others that are successful in the digital space. So basically everybody is just, it's a community of people that are helping each other, grow and learn in this community. The community is very active, as well as I've been in, the most recent community that I've been in, a lot of the times it can take, long for them to answer the questions or whatever. But in this community, they're so on top of everything. They're on top of everything. And I really, really love that about DBA, because, everybody's going to communicate back with you, and they're going to respond to your questions and, help you not to feel so alone in this space. Because starting out starting out, whenever you come into these communities, sometimes it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming with, understanding what you're doing, how you're supposed to do it, and that kind of thing. And it really does help to have a community that is active and that will answer your questions and different things like that. Because they want you to grow, they want you to be successful at this, and that only makes it better. Like, that only makes this community that much more worth it. But anyway, so I've just been going over that, as this is a new community that I've joined, so I'm just sharing what it looks like on the inside, me going through the courses, the classes, and different things like that, showing you an inside look at this, because I've always wanted to see, like, before I ever got one, or before I ever joined a community, I always wanted to see, what it looks like and that kind of thing, like how all this stuff works. So that's why I'm showing y'all, what it looks like since I'm inside of this community now. You can see inside, if you have any questions, if you want to, let's see. So, so like right now, they have a DBA live workout that's going on right now that you could join if you was inside of the community. And it's a bunch of people in there, doing workouts and whatnot. So 9 days ago, somebody just shared one of their wins. I did it. I hit 10K in sales. That's awesome. And see, that's what you want to see whenever you're in these communities. You want to see people, well, I want to see people winning, because if they can do it, then that means that you can do it. You can do anything that you put your mind to. Anything that's been done before, you can do it. And so you just have to have the mindset, that you're going to succeed. And if you, take the information that is inside of this community, inside of these classes, these modules, pick one area, and one thing that you want to learn, and just really soak up that information and implement the information. Like, don't just, don't do like I did whenever I was first starting out, which was just learn a whole lot of information. Like, I was going, to YouTube, looking all over for information, and I would just be soaking up the information. I wasn't, learning something and then going and implementing the information that I was learning. So, that is one piece of advice that, I'd like to share with other people, and, even some other people that I mentor as well, is don't make yourself have information overload. Learn something, learn a little bit and put it to work. Learn a little bit and put it to work. And then that way you're not just getting overloaded with a bunch of information. And then whenever you're finished learning the module or whatever, then you're overwhelmed because you sat there and watched the entire thing and then tried to go and, do what it said. So with these modules, with these videos, play them a little bit, get to a place to where they give you something to implement, and then pause it and actually go do that. And then come back to it and then complete the next step and continue that way. And I found that helps make things a whole lot easier, and that makes the process a whole lot easier. But yeah, so thank y'all for joining. For those of you that did join, feel free to, if you missed the live or whatever, if you have any questions on anything, then you can comment underneath one of my videos or any of my videos or whatever, and I'll respond back to you on that. But all right, I hope y'all have a blessed rest of your day.